Alright, what's up everyone?
What's up, Kyle? Hey, Kyle.
How you guys doing? Worship is not for our entertainment. And I think that's important because it happens a lot of times where we think it is, that it's just for us to have a good time. And it's the idea of worship has turned into it's a time during the service where we get to be entertained and the band gets to show us how good they are and how well they play their instruments and how well they sing. Or in our case, maybe not how well they sing. I don't know. But anyway, no, I'm just playing. The Om-Noms are great. But that in itself is an extremely selfish concept. Because everyone knows that worship is not for anyone here, right? Everyone knows that worship is for God. So living in this country, a lot of times, I mean, entertainment is a huge deal, and we live in one of the biggest cities. Well, not Homestead, but Miami is one of the biggest, major cities in our country. And entertainment is something that is stressed heavily. So it's like we come here, and when it's time to worship, it's kind of hard from the outside world, from society, to turn off a switch that tells us, okay, we're not here to be entertained. We're here to worship God. Because that's not stress in our everyday life. But it's more heavily based around what pleases our emotions, what makes us feel good, what, can we, I don't know, make worship something else, just about our friends and stuff. Which there's nothing wrong with worshiping together as long as it's for one purpose. There's 600 different denominations of churches, and so many of them have this twisted concept of worship that it's about entertainment. And really what it is it's disrespectful to God. Because, Ritz talked last week about how God created these worshiping creatures, these angels, that it was their job, it was their life to just worship Him, and that's what they did, and that was the reason that they were created, and that's it. Then He created us, and He gave us free will, and we have the option to worship Him or not. And that in itself is something so precious and so beautiful, that we choose to worship Him, and we choose to just not care what anyone else thinks and dedicate a time to God. Through singing, through praying, through reading the Bible, through dancing around, through talking to someone else. All of that is worship. And God is so pleased when we do that. And when we just have the nerve to be here or anywhere and just make it something else, it's flat out disrespectful. It's to God. And it turns you into being the spectator rather than being the participator. Because worship is not a spectator sport. Neither is the church. You're here to participate. It's a thing that you have to do. It's just something that should be innate in you to participate in worship for God. Whenever it turns into that thing where it's like you guys or whoever just comes here and just it turns into a spectator thing. Okay, the band's playing and I'm just gonna forget about God right now. It's just, oh, that sounds nice. I guess that you're clapping your hands right now? Okay, clap my hands. Oh, are you raising your, okay, I'm gonna do that too. 2 hands? Okay. That's what it turns into, and it really shouldn't. When it's that, if it turns into that, we can't even call it worship anymore. It's gonna have to be spectatorship. That's what we're gonna have to call it. So, we can't let that happen. We can't. And a lot of times, whenever we don't get that emotional high, or we don't get that feeling that we want, people will start to blame the band, start to blame the preacher, start to blame the church, start to turn into a worship critic. Oh, the drums could have hit that beat right. Or I heard Kyle's voice crack that threw me off of worship. none of that should really matter. And I do it myself. I find myself a lot of times in worship in church where I'm just like, man, the drummer doesn't sound too good today. Or, so-and-so's voice right now, she kind of was off right there. But it's like, I shouldn't even have noticed that. Because I should be just totally wrapped into worship. And that's what I want you guys to have. And that's what I want myself to have every time I have the opportunity. To just totally be engulfed in worship. To the point where nothing else around you matters. No one else matters. That it's just you and God and no one else. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys. That's what worship means to me. Amen.